So here I am now at the final stage of my panel that I've got out. I've got the scallop part on the front there. I've got the rebate on the top here, the reduction I should say, that went through the spindle moulder here. I've got the bottom cut. Now the side cuts I'm taking in 2 passes simply because I need that edge clinically clean, because it's going to touch the style of the door. It'll be just 0.5 millimetre away from it. A very, very tiny amount of expansion allowed. So we're ready to run that, so we'll fire up the extractor there and we'll send it through our spindle moulder here just to complete the process. That's one that's done there, that edge is done. You can see that I'm doing it in 2 passes. I've got to bring that thickness down to that thickness there. So that's what we're going to just fire through now. I'll run that through our spindle moulder now. That edge done, just do this one here. The rebate's done on that now. Top part, as you can see there, just needs a little bit of tidying up, and that's no problem. I had to do this cut there first, quite high, quite a difficult cut to do, but nonetheless we have the result, and when you have the result you should be happy and A-OK. Just a little point of machinery: when you're finished with the machine, always isolate the power from the switch. So I always do that just for safety purposes. So there you go, there's the panel finished. So now I'm down to the finished part of the door. Last process, so that involves the sanding of the panel. Good finish off the thicknesser there. So I'm just going to sand with 80 grit first, and then I'm going to finish with 120 grit. I could go down lower, but in this case I want the colour of the green, the RAL colour, to come through. Now I will be rubbing down between the coats with the 320 grit. So to start with, I'm just using 80 and 120 in this case. Now I may go to 180, I'll judge that when I have it done. I'll blow off the door and I'll just feel the grain. But the final would be 180, wouldn't be going any lower than that. So here we go, this is just to show the process. Boring, 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 but the orbital sander is your job for that. It's an oscillating sander, it's not an orbital. In other words, it rotates in one direction and there's a cam in it to rotate to the other direction. What that does effectively is it stops tiny little minute circles appearing on the surface of the wood. And that's the idea of an oscillating sander. So worth our weight in gold for finishing work and for polishing work. So here we go, with 80 grit. Now that's my end result there. The camera can pick it up there. I'm not sure if I just turn it there for the light to bounce off it at different angles. But so that's an 80 grit finish. Now ash is a timber that actually loves sandpaper, doesn't mind being approached by sandpaper at all. It has a wonderful personality to work. Not all timbers are like that. So we'll take that down to 120 next, and I think the 120 will do it because the finish off the 80 is quite good there. However, it'll still leave surface marks on it there just from the point of view of the grit on the 80 grit. So we need to fine it and give it a shot of the 120, and also give it a quick run of the finishing paper just prior to the first coat of spray. So that's our panel finished. Nothing more to say about that. We're ready to nearly assemble the panel. We'll be assembling the panels next then when these are done, with the rails and stiles on it. This is the stage where I'm down on my tender. I plough the grooves into my stiles there, and these are the rails that go across, and I want to do the tenon on the end like that there. So we go to our tenoner here, which is the machine behind me, And when we get a tenon, we end up looking like that, and that on the side. So ready to run those guys off now, and we'll show you just the process of that. I have the heights done, set, tenon are set, and then I have this clamp here, eccentric clamp it's called, to hold it down, because quite a lot of pressure comes in. You always need pressure clamp when you're running a tenon and the power feed on the spindle molder. So that's the process I'm at, so let's go and run a couple of those off. You'll just see them up close on the video. Okay. Now I've got to the stage where I've got all my doors assembled, 21 in total, and I've 8 drawers to boot with that as well. We've got our slalom type finish here, the scallop taken out, and as I posted in a previous video, we used the proposition, when we're given 2 propositions, using Occam's razor there to determine the best solution for this detail here. So we applied that, and that works very nicely there, the finger grip to get in under it there to solve the problem of a handleless door. The drawers in effect are the very same thing. They have the same slalom finish on them here, and same grip of course, and that's the pot drawer, that's the big one. Now when it comes to the top drawer, we do the opposite. Because the grain pattern is too short to do the vertical detail, in other words the grain running vertically, what we do is we send it transversely. In this case we send it across the way with just a flat panel there, and we get nice little detail there, a nice little finish. So it's the only place in the unit where the grain runs across the way, and that's on the top drawer only, and in the case that I'm working with, the kitchen I'm working with, I've only got 2 of them. So that's it. We've got to cut the toggles off these now, or the joggles or toggles, I just call them little joggles there at the bottom, the overhangs. Got to cut those ways off, sand them front and back, bring them down to a very fine grit. We do the edges next, and clean up the edges, and then we're ready to get into polishing phase of these. So that's it, that's the progress to date. Let's say all these are done, so now it's back to the saw, take off the toggles and sand them up. So that's progress to date. Over and out for now.